This is all wrong. I should be back in school. How dare you! You have stolen my dreams. How dare you! How dare you!
The fruit basket.
Look, all I'm saying is
Sean,
maybe we're a little too hard on our sexual predators.
Black people are human too. Okay, Sean? Jesus. God.
What's up, everybody?
Sean is he's just
I am
so
not
racist.
That's not true.
You know,
I don't consider myself
not
racist.
every Chinese American has the coronavirus, Sean.
Actually, have you seen like basically every like New York publication, like they confirmed cases in New York, and all of like the photos for the whatever the articles, the headline photos are of Asian people wearing masks.
Well, yeah, of course.
And it's like and they're riding like the subway in New York, or they're on a corner in New York, and it's like, of course they pick a photo of an Asian person
right
wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's the end of my thought. This is a really hot take.
You just really enjoyed it.
No.
Can you open the door
No.
for him?
Yeah, of course I can. I'm further from the door today, I think.
Are you guys ever going to put your intros into the iTunes ringtone library? I guess I could. It's all original content. I made it, so.
That's true. You definitely could.
Although I may have to pay Greta a royalty.
Yeah, maybe we should have one where like we distort her voice enough so it can't be identified as Greta.
How dare you? I have a plugin that does that. But you have stolen my dreams. I mean, that should be a little bit more accurate, I think, of the
cool.
energy. Yeah. You have stolen my dreams.
Right.
How dare you? Yeah. So Super Tuesday.
Super Tuesday. Well, first of all, let's talk about leading up to Super Tuesday. Who dropped out?
Pete and Amy.
Pete and Amy. And guess what? So Amy dropped out one day later than Pete because she's that petty.
I mean, yeah. I think that like that really is like the because she really did have like a pretty good slam dunk in the last debate on him of just like. What the fuck is this? I'm doing it. I'm gonna do an imitation of Amy Klobuchar as Trump. So
as Trump? Okay.
Who's this child over here? What have you done? You've not done anything. You've not been in politics. You're a mayor of a town that no one's ever heard of ever. Probably doesn't even exist. And it's so true of him. Like she really did crush it. Because the reason why I did that now is that
was awesome. Everybody, please.
Thank you. Yeah.
A round of applause. Whatever. Ignore it.
Well, I'll fix it. But yeah, so she, and I don't blame her because fuck Pete. Honestly, it's like, who the fuck are you? You toddler. It's like you've not done anything. You've not accomplished anything. Your town hates you, and the country hates you, except for Iowa apparently. So.
Yeah, which was an amazing turn of events. Iowa, him even getting remotely close to winning it.
Right.
And then actually winning it. Pete just fucking... I'm so glad he's gone. Although he's going to rear his head again in a future election.
I know. That's like always the unfortunate part about these things is like you basically get like a demo of like all the fucking shitty people you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. Yeah. So like people like Beto O'Rourke or yeah.
Although I will say, and maybe I've mentioned this on the podcast before, there's a photo of him on like a couch after he stepped out of the campaign. Him on like a couch, like looking up into like the right or whatever, and he has like his legs crossed and he grew out like a beard. I think he's hot.
Oh come on. He's so not.
There was a point where like he grew out that beard, but I think he's back and he's
like so toothy in a way that like that works for you, but for him it just looks derpy. I saw you subconsciously just close your mouth because you didn't want me to highlight your teeth.
That was really mean, Jordan.
Sorry. Well, we got a really nice Twitter message that was saying that they love from Gio about how much he loves your your
say it
your
out loud.
well-dentaled smile. I forgot how he phrased it. It was very sweet, though. Yes.
I spent my parents spent thousands of dollars getting me this smile, so I should hope that I get a lot of compliments on it.
Yes.
Thank you, but do better.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't even really know what to say about this exactly.
I don't either.
I think it's like. Well, I think my hot take, which is probably a few different people's hot takes, it's probably not original, but it's like this idea that I'm pretty convinced the DNC knows Biden is going to lose. They want him to lose, so then they can keep doing the fear-mongering about Trump being president for the next 4 years to fundraise because they're broke.
Yeah.
I think that's really all this is.
It's the same thing that you talked about where, like, all of these nonprofit organizations function on, what was the word you used? Grieving? Not grieving. Grievances.
Yeah.
They function on grievances, and so, like...
Because they don't really have any...
They don't really have a lot of concrete things to fight against.
Because if you go down to, like just their, like, you know, Biden in particular, like his legislation record, it's really, like historically, he's been more hawkish than even Trump. So it's like...
yeah.
They don't have, like, the only person that kind of has, like, a flawless record is Bernie, you know.
Right.
And so, you know, but again, I think what's been so interesting is it's like you can argue against him on his ideas, which is fine. Like, my biggest issue with him is his implementation of his ideas, like, in kind of like no nuance is allowed and how these ideas or plans will be implemented. You know, and the one I always bring up is free college. It's like, okay, great, but free colleges are only going to offer STEM programs. Like, that's just the reality. Like, you have to tell people that reality, because every country that he sort of lauds that has free education or free public college, they eliminated every humanities department from those colleges. And so it's just that kind of thing. But
in the same way, though, Trump ran in 2016 saying, like, he's going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. There was no room for nuance in there. And now he started building the wall with our own money. And so, like, of course, once you get into office, the things that you say you want to make happen, they're not going to happen.
Well, right. And that's the biggest. So, like, I mean, there was a lot of, like, I think that where I underestimated this reality, because none of us could have anticipated that Amy and Pete were going to drop out to rally behind Biden. And now Coomberg is as well. Yeah. So none of us could have anticipated that. So, like, when all the mainstream corporate news outlets were saying, well, you know, look at Bernie's support compared to the support of the centrists, which outnumbers him statistically, we couldn't have anticipated that they, like, all the Pete voters and the Klobuchar voters would have, like, turned out, like, I think a lot of Biden's success in the Midwest was because of Klobuchar. So, but the big question I have is what is Elizabeth Warren doing? Her failure was so hilariously abysmal, and so, like, where does she go now? Because if she goes with Biden, like, and drops out and rallies behind him, it just proves that she's not a progressive at all.
Right.
And then I don't know if Bernie would have her at this point. I mean, he probably would. It would be politically expedient.
It would, but it's like she's probably going to stay in as long as she possibly can, pull as many delegates from Bernie as she can.
Right.
And she even said this in a speech of hers. Her only goal is to get the most amount of delegates that she can. And it's like, well, obviously you're just pulling those away from somebody who can actually win this nomination.
Bernie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so,
well, although I don't know, like, I mean, the hardcore Warren supporters so chomped at the bit of the Bernie bro narrative that I'm not really sure that they would hop over to Bernie anyway.
I don't know. I mean, if Warren joined Bernie and backed him, maybe that would be something big. But
why didn't she drop out today? What is she doing?
I have no clue. It's so embarrassing too to see her, like, have 11 delegates.
It's so delicious. I hate her so much. So, like, just to see her just fail so hard.
You're just licking your fingers.
Oh, I mean, it was the only part of this that I really quite enjoyed, and like, because there were so many things that got rat fucked. So, like, one of the big ones for me is that, so Tulsi won a delegate in American Samoa, which makes sense because she's American Samoan. And white. I think she's a mixture. But so she won a delegate, which would have qualified her to be allowed on the debate stage. And then the DNC change the rules, so then now she can't be.
Yeah.
Of course. So, and that's what I thought was interesting, is like, I hadn't really, like, just to show how dumb we are and you shouldn't listen to us on anything, I knew American Samoa existed, but I didn't know that they would have their own primary or any of this kind of thing.
Voted.
I did. You have to assume, I think Puerto Rico does, like all these, these things happen, right? So, like any American territory, Guam probably, but I wouldn't, so because I was confused about why she was still in it and not just like dropping out and supporting Bernie at this point. But then when that happened, I was like, oh, that actually makes sense. She probably anticipated this happening. She never explicitly said it to us in campaign emails, but her campaign probably anticipated this happening with the hope of getting back on the debate stage. But of course, the DNC will not let that happen. So my attitude is run Biden and just completely destroy the party. Like, good. I'm like just do it, because like
we're due for a break.
And I'm not voting. I'm not going to vote for Biden. I'm not. Yeah. I'm out of just absolute protest, because at this point it's like this establishment has no interest in us, and so
they fucked us 2 election cycles in a row. Right. This one and Hillary's.
Right.
And so how are we to trust them ever again?
No, you shouldn't.
Exactly.
And so like if you're a Democrat, if you're for Trump, then you're already you're having much more fun than the rest of us. So, but and again, it's like, it was so interesting. Like, you saw me having to respond to all these people trying to like text me about the campaign, and like Warren's, it's so crazy, because like, and Bernie makes this mistake too, of like this idea that like focusing on Trump is a winning strategy, and it really isn't. It's oddly enough, Trump has been like his biggest defender in the last 3 days. So, and like, what that's about, I'm not really sure, but I don't know. This is just so fucking boring. I don't know. Like, we were not really sure like what we were going to say about this, or even how long this one's going to run, because I don't really know what to even say about it.
Yeah. As it stands right now, do you want to pull up the delegate count? Sure. So Joe is leading by about 60 delegates. Let's see. So you're looking at Texas right now. Joe won Texas by a few delegates, by 9 delegates.
Yeah, how do I get back to...
So what I found, how I was able to find it with avoiding all of the stupid articles with Bernie delegate.
That's been the most interesting thing, is like, I was telling you, like, I cannot find this. This was like nearly impossible to find.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I could find like all these articles that buried the lead, where it's like, well, in a contested blah 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 blah, like 4 paragraphs of just like waxing and waning from these fucking retard journalists who like, just give me the fucking information, you stupid assholes. And it was like this is what I wanted to know, because when you see this number, you're like, okay, this isn't like what's been interesting is like going on Twitter and seeing. So actually, can you read the numbers? Just
sure. So Biden is at 566 delegates. Sanders is at 501.
I love that Coomberg like is right neck and neck with Warren too. Because she is just such a pathetic embarrassment. But like. It's so, like there still are a lot of states that need to vote, and so like, but it's weird because like you go on Twitter and like all the Bernie people, like the hardcore Bernie people, are acting as if they've just lost, which is like really weird, and it's like almost like they're like leaning into. I think like one of the most irritating, like, and again, like I've made it pretty explicitly clear here, like I like Bernie on principle, but there's a lot about him I don't like, but it's like watching so there was an article, like a hit piece that came out about Chapo Trap House, which is like a really popular like socialist type podcast, and also mentioned Red Scare and Come Town, which Come Town's the one that and Red Scare are the 2 that I listen to. I don't like Chapo Trap House very much at all. I have a lot of reasons. If you're curious the reasons, I'll tell you why. I like Amber, though, who's one of the hosts on it. She's like the one. The thing is like, if you listen to it, you can hear how Amber's different than the boys, and you realize why. Like, the boys and their attitude is why I hate them. But she's like, if it were just her running the show, I would like it quite a bit more, because she's like funny and not smug. There's like this like smugness to it, and it's like there's like something about like being part of like a workers' people movement and being smug is like really gross. And so. And also, I had a thought the other day. I was like, I wonder if they've ever talked about Tulsi Gabbard. And I find a clip of them talking about her, and they just like were wrong on everything.
Course, yeah.
And like, but they were speaking with such authority, and they called her like an Assad apologist. They just trashed her on things that were completely infactual, but they were speaking with such authority that it was so maddening. And I'm like, fuck you guys, sincerely, fuck you. And so I really dislike them. And again, it's like, for them to be such hardcore Bernie people and not understand that she literally nuked her political career to defend him. Yeah. It's like, how dare you fucking, like how much of a Bernie person are you if you don't know that? Mm-hmm. Like it really it clearly pissed me off quite a bit. And so there was a hit piece that came out. Sorry, I kind of got sidetracked. A hit piece that came out, and then stupid Sam Harris retweets this hit piece because he is so Trump deranged. Like, he has become such an embarrassment over the last 2 years. Like, and it's like these centrist Gen X, and so if you guys don't know, Sam Harris, he's a part of the New Atheist movement. He's really good friends with Christopher Hitchens. Not the weakest of the four horsemen of the atheism movement, but definitely close. But he was a great kind of intellectual thinker, but his opinions have become glaringly obvious to me of why he has them. His mother created the Golden Girls. So he is Hollywood rich, like, for the rest of his life. And so for him to retweet that article, which are people who have no, like no matter how stupid I think Chapo is, they have no corporate, they're completely self-funded by their audience. Yeah. Like, they are not your enemy, stupid. Like, but you are playing into the corporate machine problem that was the same media that you were having to go on to defend your views on atheism. Like, he's such, like, for as intelligent as a person as he is such a rube on just social, like, the way that, like, things are happening socially in the country. It's so fucking disappointing. So, like, I think that, like, and I had to you know who Christina Hoff Sommers is? Yeah. I had to unfollow her too, because she was just like going psychopathic on this. And it's like you guys shouldn't be, like, look, I understand the kind of indoctrination of Bernie's like a communist. I understand how that's influencing people. But, like, if you were really paying attention and you were actually if you had, like, even a semblance of applying your IQ to politically, like, a political consciousness, you'd understand that, like, even if Bernie won, all of these crazy ideas that would fuck America wouldn't get done. Like, because we have checks and balances. So it's like a version of them would probably get done that would be palatable to you. But, like, how do you not understand that, like, if Trump is Satan to you, which is, like, what it is for Christina Hoff Sommers and for Sam Harris, it's like he is so deep in their head, like free real estate, like, all the time. Bernie is kind of the populist antidote to seeing a battle of ideas that would be interesting. Mm-hmm. But Biden is just, like, he's going to just crumble. Yeah. How do they not see this? Like, these are really smart people. And that's the most mind-boggling element of this to me. Of, like, why do you not want to see the showdown of these two people? And again, it's like there's a lot of people too. Like, so a lot of what Bernie lost on was over 40-year-old black support, which doesn't surprise me because I was trying to tell a lot of people, and they kept shitting on me for this, especially like people who are really hardcore in the Bernie camp, is like the Obama name recognition goes really fucking far with black people. Like, they don't really know about Obama's record. They don't really know what he did or didn't do for them.
I'd argue that most people don't really know about his record.
But it would galvanize, like, the first black president's vice president going out. They would go out and vote for him. I mean, like, without, and just on that basis alone. And that's kind of what we saw, especially like in places like South Carolina where Bernie got crushed, and it's a largely African American population. So I don't know. Let's catch up on some comments. It might kind of help me.
Yeah. You did not say that. You said Coomberg. M as in Mary.
Yeah, Coomberg, like Coomer. Yeah. Is discussing the 18 months Afghan peace deal with Taliban on the list of items to be dealt with tonight. Well, yeah, I mean, like, but the problem is that fucking Trump drone striked them. And so, like, I think in Idlib. And so he's, like, fucking nuked the deal already. And so it was exciting for about fucking 5 minutes, and then he fucking bombs them. So it's like
all over it.
Yeah, and so it's on. What's there to say? What is there to say about it? There's literally.
But are you surprised?
Yeah, I am with him. Yes, I am. Because Bolton's not there, which would be the one that would have done that.
Do you think there's a new?
Yeah, of course. There always is. There's always
going to be
another
neocon.
New. Always, yeah. That's the no matter, even with Bernie Sanders, he'll have a fucking neoliberal or slash neocon. They're the same fucking thing at this point.
They are the same.
And it's like he'll have one too. It's just you can't escape these fucking parasites, and they're everywhere. That's another thing that pisses me off about Bernie is it's like everyone trounces him so hard on how are you going to pay for it. And I was reading an article that like pay for Medicare for all.
But he posted that to his website.
He did, but it's not clear. So basically, like the way that there's four nonpartisan economists who went over his plan to figure out, and like it was split. So like two of them were saying that like based on the people who are going in and getting care and are not insured, how much the taxpayers have to pay to rectify that problem, it could save us money. Two of them said the same thing. But then two of them were like, it's going to cost us a fuckload more money, and here's why. And so the reality is we don't really know. We don't really, and neither does Bernie. Like, no one knows whether or not it'll save us or lose us money. Mm-hmm. But we have to do something with our healthcare system. Like, this is not working. Like, we're like, and then to Biden's thing, like, because of Obamacare, we're in a worse fucking mess. We're now like, I have to worry about which ambulance I take or which hospital I go to make sure it's a network. Like none of that shit.
You're better off taking an Uber to the hospital right now.
Yeah.
Because it's a $3,000 ride 15 minutes down the street.
Yeah, exactly. And so this network shit is completely Obama's doing.
Yeah.
So and also the individual mandate, which is so fucked up. Like there's just so much stuff. Like and like so all of the bad ideas of Obamacare got implemented, and the good one didn't, which was the public option. Like, so it was just like making our system worse than it already was. And then Biden's whole thing is like, well, I'm just going to make it better. And it's like, okay, how?
Yeah. But it sucks so bad because that's good enough for most people.
Yeah.
I saw our favorite gays on Instagram saying that they're voting for Biden. You know which gays I'm talking about?
No.
There's two of them.
They're Tyler Oakley?
No. They're in a relationship. We know them. We knew them very well.
My ex?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But I saw them post like sitting on a couch, like lounging with like an American flag T-shirt, and it was like, "Guess who I'm voting for? Biden." Let me know who you're voting for in the comments.
God,
it's like,
really?
Oh, Biden, you're a gay. Like, this is not what we do.
Well, they're like capitalist swine.
Oh, I know. Being like an influencer, I feel like you're so out of touch with reality and also out of touch with politics. So you end up voting for somebody who's a Biden, you know?
Gio says Warren came in third in her home state of Massachusetts, right? Karma. Yeah, she did. She came in third. Yeah. It was humiliating. Like, yeah. Like the fact that she
should be so embarrassed right now.
She should, and she shouldn't be in the race anymore. Adrian says, who do you guys think is going to win the nomination? I think it'll be Biden.
Yeah. With the way things are working right now, with everybody dropping out,
I'm not saying that with like a bunch of certainty. Just for the record, I just to me it's like I think you were about to say, probably what I was about to say. So go ahead. Sorry.
With everybody dropping out to support Biden, and it might not be, but with everybody dropping out to support Biden, with Amy and Pete and Bloomberg, which was really odd.
Not really. That doesn't surprise me.
I feel like he would have just stepped back because his ego is so massive.
Well, because but I think that he can. Yeah, but he can dump a bunch of money into Biden and then...
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
But basically, Biden is the sweetheart of the DNC. It's changed many times over this cycle. Remember when it was Warren, and then it was Pete, and then it went to...
It was Biden first.
It was Biden first, yeah. And then it went to Warren because she's the progressive woman, and then it went to Pete because he's the gay guy. And suddenly, it's back to Biden.
Right.
Because none of those options worked.
Right.
And they're seeing that, of course, people are going to vote for Biden if you just pump enough Biden propaganda into them.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be effective. And I think that what Warren ends up doing next is going to be very interesting because I think Bernie, it'll change the dynamic if she swallows her pride and gets behind him, which I find unlikely. But if it does happen, it'll make it much more interesting. And frankly, if she has any fucking foresight, she would realize it would be her redemption arc.
Yeah.
The only way she can redeem herself, because if she gets behind the centrists, what do you stand for? You're a fucking we already know you're a liar, like hardcore, but now you're even more of one. Kyle says, "What's Sam Harris's Twitter following? Does he have a lot of pull? Not really,
anymore.
Not anymore. But it's like all a bunch of pseudo intellectual people who use flowery language incorrectly. Like it's people who think they're as smart as he is, but they're not. If you want to like really get cancer, go to his subreddit. They'll use words like conflate a lot, and they juxtapose, and
the duality
of man is it's so gross. Red Mage says they would vote for a scarecrow with an Obama sticker on it. It's true.
Most people would.
Who's your bet? Who's your bet on Biden VP pick? I think Stacey Abrams.
Just fucking give Amy a chance.
I think that Amy would be the smartest choice for him.
It's kind of a joke.
No, but think about it, because she's got like that folksy Midwest support. She's a woman, but I think that like the Democrats have really placated the identitarians for so long that it has like the only slam dunk is a black woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he swoops in and takes Nina Turner?
She would never.
No, she wouldn't. She would not.
No.
She would be like a Bernard dog whistle.
Some gays are the worst on Twitter. Adrian says, I agree. They're actually, honestly, gays and white women are the worst on Twitter. Like, they're the worst Twitter people, like, ever. Because they're the ones who, like, they solely tweet about, like, on identitarian lines.
Yeah.
It's like, Pete's gay, so I love him. Or Warren's a, yes, queen, slay. Like it's just like that. The yes queen, like, Twitter needs to all get coronavirus and die. Like, I'm so tired of that aspect of Twitter. It's the fucking worst. Would you guys vote for Biden? I would not. I think Sean might, but I
maybe. We'll see
would
how
not.
I'm feeling in 6 months.
Truly, like I would. I'm not gonna say it, but no, I would not vote for Biden. Kyle Dawson says CNN was organizing the entire night.
Orgasmic.
CNN was orgasming the entire night that Biden was making an amazing comeback on Super Tuesday. Was so sad to see that millions were eating that shit up and will subsequently influence the Dem primaries. Yeah, like I was watching it I was at my parents' house and we were watching it on ABC, and the guy who was running the programming was George Stephanopoulos, who was a Clinton campaigner and like worked for the Clinton administration. So of course he was just creaming his jeans, and and what was so interesting was they had the Chiron that was like showing the states coming in, and they were only showing the states that Biden was winning.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
dude.
like it was so obvious what they were doing.
And we've already seen it. We saw it happen with Iowa, where fucking Pete announced his victory before even like 2% of the reporting was in.
Right.
And it's like, oh, so he ran with this victory, and then everybody reported on Pete winning.
Yep.
And then everybody was like, oh, well, Pete's the front runner.
Which was
believed it.
Which was smart for him to do. I mean, it was duplicitous and horrible,
of course,
but it was smart because it worked. And like basically, like Iowa is completely useless for information because it got bungled so badly.
I don't even think they've officially declared.
No, they're just going to throw it out. But the fact that Pete said at that, I mean, it doesn't matter now, but like at that time he just declared himself the victor, was all he really needed because he got the headline that he wanted. So and then no matter if the record gets corrected 4 or 5 days later, nobody reads the correction. They read the headline that comes out immediately.
Of course, yeah.
Red Mage says, and Warren people are still sticking to her on Twitter, of course, because they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I saw some friends, like acquaintances, post about them voting for Warren. I'm like, I said this to you, but like, you literally voted for a loser.
Yeah.
You knew she was going to lose and you voted for her.
Yeah.
But lose in the way that like voting for Warren is not a statement of any kind.
No.
Where Kevin actually just commented, I put Tulsi my mail-in ballot. That's a statement.
Yeah, it is.
Because we know that's more of like a protest vote than anything.
It is, yeah.
But voting for Warren is like the most bland and least effective thing you can do right now.
Yeah, because and again, it's like it's what I say to everybody who was like in the Pete camp or in Biden's camp or in Warren's camp. It's like, what issue do they stand on that is important to you? And let's say they say healthcare, and I'm like, well, then why don't why isn't Bernie more appealing to you? Like there's like for whatever those three candidates, like I can name you a candidate that's better on these things.
Exactly.
Like, and so it's just incredible.
Maya's here. Hello, Maya.
Voting for Warren, we all lose. Yeah. Red Mage says he thinks that I think Pete will be the running mate for Biden. They can't have two white men. They can't. No. Like the Democrats have totally just like capitulated to this retard mob of like identitarians, and so they have no choice.
And you're using that word in the French way.
Yes.
Just so that it's
retard.
Not
yeah.
So we don't mean in the insensitive.
Does anybody mean it in that way anymore?
No, nobody is actively calling people with mental disabilities R-worded.
Yeah, and like that. Yeah, I'm not giving up that word until they pull me out kicking and screaming.
Just let me say it.
Yeah, just let me
say it.
I need that word.
They close the bars in front of you. I won't stop saying it.
That is one of the dumbest movements on the planet. Can we discuss the elephant in the room? This is Kyle. Did Tulsi break 1% anywhere? I'm voting for her. I don't give a fuck anymore. My entire family too, even though they're split. Yeah, she got a delegate in American Samoa.
Yeah.
I said that when we first started.
So she would have qualified for a spot in the debate stage, but they changed the rules
immediately.
After she got
immediately.
The delegate.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So at this point, she needs to drop out and get behind Bernie, or do something. I think
she will soon.
Yeah. But she's my gal. I mean, like I adore her. She feels like a family member to me. It's like who's running for office. But the one really good news I got was that Cenk Uygur got last place in Katie Hill's district, which made me so fucking happy because he sucks so badly. Like,
get out of
look,
here.
I understood the argument of like we want another progressive to take over her seat, right? I got it. I understand that sentiment, but Cenk is not it. He is such a fucking idiot. Like that, and would be so embarrassing if we gave that man political power.
Yeah.
Like,
heed my words. Cenk will be the first YouTuber president.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the first gamer president.
Yeah. Gaymer.
The Gaymer president.
Yeah.
And although have you seen that? Of course you've seen that Twitter account that's like the gamer president 2020.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
He rules.
Yeah.
Fucking rules. And he actually makes all the issues funny.
Yeah.
And tweets about them.
That really is, we need a fucking sense of humor. Like that. Yeah. That is like one of the biggest things that was lacking on our side. Perry Allen, chunk yogurt. Yeah, good.
Chunky yogurt.
Dude, he's the fucking worst. Perry Allen, he's a doofus. That's a perfect word for him. Absolute fucking doofus.
Yeah.
So I was very pleased with that result because I was actually convinced. I'm like, but what it kind of illustrated to me was that I don't think that like alternative media, like YouTube media, so like The Hill, his show, Jimmy Dore, they have much less influence than I had predicted. Yeah. I thought that like dinosaur corporate media was less effective than they are. But they're incredibly effective because I think I underestimated how far their tentacles go, which is like, CNN, MSNBC is also New York Times, also Time Magazine. They're every bit of establishment media, and so which will die eventually, but I think it'll take much longer than I had expected.
It'll die when the generations that consume those die. Which means I'm going to kill them.
Right.
One by one with my bare hands.
Yes, yeah. But, yeah, it was a clusterfuck. It
is pretty awful. I'm not surprised to see what's happening, but I'm very disappointed. I mean, I knew the DNC sucked, but to see it happen again
right
after 2016, ugh. I was so proud to vote for Bernie in the 2016 primary.
Yeah, me too. That's fun. Because Hillary was just such a fucking awful cunt.
Yeah, and then like in retrospect, having to vote for Hillary after that
was painful.
And now I'm gonna have to do the same thing. Or sorry, not saying that I will have to do the same thing, but it's possible that the DNC will make that happen again, and we'll just get another stupid loss to Trump because we have another Hillary Obama figure.
And I'm just not doing it again. President. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. We'll see what I end up doing.
I don't care if he loses. I mean, I really don't. Like, I think he deserves to. I think that whole establishment deserves to lose. But like, it's irritating to think that what I led with, which is that I think they're doing this on purpose. So then if they lose, it's kind of like a win-win for them, which is like what's irritating.
Of course.
Ugh. They are really the biggest scum of the earth. It's like,
yeah, and we already know that from years past.
Yeah.
So why haven't we all woken up yet? Who knows?
So if we were to make a new party, which is going to have to happen, because the progressives and the centrists are never going to get along, what would you name the party?
Oh, interesting. Maybe the Power Bottom Party or the Party of Queens. What? I actually don't know. I mean, you came up with something.
I think Progressive Party is effective.
Yeah, and I wholly agree with
But I like going with like some of our old-timey parties that don't exist, like the Bull Moose Party. I think that'd be kind of fun.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
What about the Wigs?
Wigs, yeah.
That would be gay.
That would be gay, yeah.
Wig snatch.
Yeah, exactly.
WHIG snatch.
Yeah.
That's fucking good.
I like that very much.
That's fucking good.
But yeah, so I think this is an original. Shoe on Head was saying it, but I think Bull Moose, 'cause that's like what Teddy Roosevelt, was his party.
Yeah.
So
that would be great.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I'm all for it because I was talking to Dallas, another one of our listeners. He's up in Canada, and he was saying that like, oh, you should call it the Labor Party, and I was like trying to explain to him like, there's an American zeitgeist that you don't really understand. Like, we don't have any reverence for British politics. No. British people. Like, yes, we like them in our TV shows, and like, yes, they sometimes play smart people on things.
Yeah, the Labour Party is the name of a major party in.
It's their very progressive party.
Yeah.
Like Jeremy Corbyn's party. But
James Corden's party.
Can we just deport him already?
They don't want him. They hate him over there.
Well, so do we. Like, we really hate him. Like, God, or can we just execute him like publicly?
Yeah.
Like while wearing his cat's costume
or decapitation.
Yes.
Guillotine.
Would anybody in the chat miss James Corden?
We want honest answers only,
and
right answers only. If you're wrong, you're getting banned from our chat.
Generation Y Me says, I think they're banking on keeping the Trump election interference narrative going to bolster Biden's campaign. But they fucking shot their wad because they said that they were helping Bernie too. How does that make any fucking sense?
How would he help both Bernie and
why
Trump?
would they do that?
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
so dumb.
And the people who are manipulated by that... Rachel Maddow is another person who needs to be just like quartered and executed. Like, she is the worst fucking person on the planet. She went after like, and I hate Sean King.
I saw this exact thing, and I was just gonna bring it up.
I hate Sean King so much. Like, just I'll preface with that. I think he's one of the worst progressive voices in terms of like race unity on the planet, especially considering he's not even black, but pretends to be. But he was talking, like, basically just saying what we all know, which is like, this is completely rigged. And then Rachel Maddow goes on the thing of like, how dare you, Sean King, bring up conspiracy theories? And I'm like, bitch, you have been touting a conspiracy theory for the last 4 fucking years. You have, like, you're saying that Russia's going to shut off our power grids so people can't vote. It's like, you are the craziest like, you are Alex Jones. Like you are worse than him. Like, at least he says some things that are true, but you just lie every day to your audience. She is the worst, like, absolutely the worst. But yeah, so I don't know. I got. We found out the dogs can get coronavirus.
Oh fuck, dude.
That sucks.
That's awful.
So we have a funny clip to show you concerning coronavirus.
Oh, God, another. If you were here last week, you basically saw it. This is the same. Coronavirus is the same.
So here's this woman here.
Today, start working on not touching your face, because one main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes.
Jump cut?
So what just happened?
So she's at a press conference, basically, and she's giving this stupid speech because, like, of course, common sense. And then at the very end, we jump cut to her licking her fingers to turn the page. Avoid touching your face, but you can lick your finger as a treat.
There's a little lick as a treat.
She's just slobbering on that too. She puts her whole finger in her mouth. And
yeah, it wasn't like
around.
A gentle one. It was like
it was the library kind. It was like the librarian where she just, or the lunch lady arms kind. You know, like where I guess I'm making up scenarios.
Works for me.
Where a lunch lady, like a lunch lady has certain mannerisms.
Mm-hmm.
That's licking your finger to turn a page is a lunch lady mannerism or a librarian mannerism.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just keep this one short.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do you have more things?
All
you want
right.
to talk about?
Let me just do a little check of the note.
I think we only have dog coronavirus in there.
I can't believe we fucking only had those things. Well, this whole week has just been so underwhelming and unsurprising that what else do we say?
But it was surprising, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was like I wouldn't have Pete, like Amy dropping out didn't surprise me. Pete dropping out was like, the fuck?
Yeah, it was. You said it was like a little premature. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
right before Super Tuesday, you were doing well.
I hate that rat face fuck, but it was like, what are you doing? And then when they coordinate, and basically like what my understanding is that this was all Obama's doing. Like Obama called them all and told them exactly what to do, and they all fell in line, which is really fucking spooky.
Obama would have.
He did.
Well, Pete on the same day he dropped out met with Jimmy Carter.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe Jimmy Carter's the evil benefactor. What's the opposite of a benefactor?
I will not let you just besmirch the good name of Jimmy Carter.
The Peanut Man.
But no, it was this was Obama. Like that's like not a conspiracy.
So?
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
What do you mean it's not a conspiracy?
No, like we know for a fact that Obama was the one that like orchestrated all this.
How?
By calling Pete and Amy and telling them to drop out and support Biden. And they did it. Like that.
Wow. Show me the call logs. This is an impeachable offense. We must impeach Barack Obama.
I'll find an article, like, really quickly. Hang on.
Not my president. Obama? No, definitely not my president.
Obama, Pete.
Oh, boy.
And Amy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and then that same night, they fly to wherever Biden was.
So this is the New York Post, which is... They're not really conservative. They're just kind of like whatever. But yeah, Buttigieg endorsed Biden after reportedly speaking with Obama. Pete Buttigieg discussed his withdrawal from the 2020 presidential race with former President Barack Obama, who advised the one-time mayor of South Bend, Indiana, to use the leverage he amassed during the campaign, according to a report. Obama didn't specifically encourage Buttigieg to endorse Joe Biden, his vice president, but pointed out that he should be mindful of the significant influence he now wields, the New York Times reported on Monday. Buttigieg, 38, endorsed Biden on Monday on the eve of the Super Tuesday elections, along with Ertwissel, Democrat presidential rival Senator Amy Klobuchar in Minnesota, former Rep. Beto O'Rourke of Texas.
Erstwhile. Is that a word? Erstwhile?
Yeah.
But anyway, Maya says, this is super interesting. I thought it was weird that everyone was dropping out like flies. And yes, for everybody to do it in a way that was like one after the other, yeah, very bizarre, but obvious that it's some sort of orchestrated thing, right?
Right.
So, of course, they would all drop out around the same time, right before Super Tuesday, to rally behind the only person who can stop Bernie at this point.
Yep.
And obviously, it's orchestrated against Bernie because they did it in 2016. They're doing it again because they don't want him. And I think you have a great point in saying that, like, if they get Bernie, he might win against Trump, and that means the DNC is no longer as funded. You know?
And then like I think Bernie winning anything would again expedite the starting of a third party and just basically pummeling the Democratic establishment into irrelevance.
In the last few weeks, Bernie has been lighting up the Democratic establishment as well as the Republican establishment.
Right.
So he's enemy of both of them,
Yep.
which would make him so exciting to watch on stage.
Yep.
But the thing is, they really don't want him, and they have way more power than we think they do.
Yep.
It's the money, it's the oligarchs, it's all of that influence.
Yep.
Yeah, the DNC has so much power over what happens.
Kyle asks, who has more political power, Obama or Hillary? I would say Obama. Just because he has more goodwill, like still left for people.
That's true.
Yeah,
I think I agree with you.
And he's kind of like really elbow deep in media right now. Like he's gotten like all these like giant cash infusions. I think there's such a scrutiny on Clinton right now. In fact, like she's about to get served with another. I think she's to appear in court soon.
Oh yeah, the some judge called her in for the email thing.
Yeah. So let's see. Hillary documentary. Oh my God, I can't believe they're making that. Let me find it. 1 second.
There's going to be so much on her because she's just always in the news. She's always in the cycle.
Yeah, she
federal judge orders Clinton to sit for deposition on use of private email account.
Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. This is from National Review, which is a right-wing website, just so you guys know. A federal judge has ordered Hillary, because left-wing outlets aren't going to report on this. A federal judge has ordered Hillary Clinton to sit for a sworn, oh my God, fuck off, sworn deposition regarding her use of a private email account while serving as Secretary of State. U.S. District Court, whatever, who cares? A Reagan appointee, who cares? On Monday, filed the order for Clinton to appear for a deposition in a 5-year-old case brought by a conservative group, Judicial Watch. Oh, that's that Tom Fitton guy. Ugh. The group filed a Freedom of Information Act request for Clinton's emails pertaining to the 2012 attacks on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi.
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Yeah. But, I mean, whatever just gets her distracted. It's like, she really needs to just shut her fucking mouth because she's just political poison. Yeah. So, yeah.
What if, hypothetically, Biden died?
Mm-hmm.
What would they do with his delegates? He'd probably keep them, right?
I don't know.
Because people who have dropped out of the race keep their delegates.
I'm sure that's happened before, but I don't really know. Not in my lifetime, so I don't really know what happens.
Yeah, I wonder if like something happened where he like literally could not run for president anymore.
I mean, he is. It's every time he speaks, he's so. I was even watching a clip from him in 2012, and he was completely coherent.
Yeah.
I mean, it really has just fallen apart in the last 8 years.
I wonder if anybody's ever asked this question before. Like, what if somebody dies while running for president?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Not if they are president, but Pete would get them. Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Maybe the DNC will come up with a new rule where they get to decide who gets the delegates.
They seem to really love. Like, and that's the thing with Bernie.
It's only fair that Elizabeth Warren gets the delegates.
Well, like, I don't really understand why Bernie, like, even is like... I don't know. I there's a lot. I just don't know.
Yeah, Jacob, they did steal the race from Bernie again.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And it was and I really want to know like what they're so scared of. Like and I mean, it must be Wall Street. I mean, like that must be like one of the biggest ones for them, or corporate interests that like they're all taking super PAC money from. Like, that's my only guess, because it's so irrational and so over the top at this point and so cartoonishly villainous that it's like I just can't really imagine a scenario in which it's like just anything close to like what they're actually saying.
Tom, you were so smart. I wonder if there's a record of what happened when Bobby Kennedy was shot, because he was running when he died, right?
Yeah, he was.
I wonder if it was at that point in the race where he had delegates at that point, if we were that far into the primary.
I don't think so, because I think the event that he was doing was like a campaign event, like early on, and then Saran went.
Well, I'll look into it, and then maybe next time we can touch on that.
I think Saran just got out of jail.
Saran. I was like, who the fuck?
I'm actually curious about that. Sorry.
But next time, I'll come back to that. Not that I'm gonna kill Biden. I'm not going to kill Biden. Biden, I have no ill will towards, and I have never thought of killing Biden. Nor have I ever thought of suicide in case Hillary wants to.
Oh no, he's still
come make me kill myself.
It was Mark David Chapman who got out, I think.
No,
not Mark David Chapman. The one who shot Reagan. Who?
I don't know.
Fuck. God damn it.
John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah, John Wilkes Booth.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
No.
Who else?
Hinckley. John Hinckley Jr. Yeah. He got out. But
we'll come back to it. He died the night of the California primary.
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
I'll look it up then.
All right. And I'll come back. I will still come back with a thorough review of it to see what. Where did Bobby Kennedy's delegates go? Where are we going to get the money to pay for all these new programs? That sounds a lot like Bernie.
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of similar.
He's on a path to be president. What?
This is gonna be hard to find.
It's gonna be impossible.
Oh my fuck! You got like.
I know, it's so. I hate looking at anything online. It's just, I wish I could shut my eyes forever. Blinding these ads that are just blinding me all the time. I'm overstimulated.
And they've been outsmarting Outline. This is what's going to happen now. It's not going to go through.
I want to be understimulated. Like, I don't want to feel anything.
It's just yeah, it's so fucking busy. All right, let's see.
All right, the presidential campaign. Indiana, he probably got some delegates. Nebraska, California, and then, all right, assassination.
Yeah.
Body was returned. But I don't.
There's a full thing though, so let's see if.
Wow. Okay. Dual victories in California and South Dakota. Holy cow, he won.
Yeah. For President of the United States, Senator Kennedy spoke to journalists and campaign workers and live television, blah, 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 blah. Shortly after leaving Saran. I don't know. I can't really find information on this.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
We can come back to it another time. I'm not going to kill Biden again, but
yeah, I mean, who's more likely to die though? Is it going to be Biden or Bernie?
You think Bernie would die?
I mean, he doesn't have much time left. I mean, come on.
I mean, he wouldn't die before the election. Biden might. Dementia is a progressive thing.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't necessarily kill. I mean, a heart attack fucking kills you. So.
Yeah, but whatever. I'm okay with the heart if he died of a heart attack. But like, to see Biden up there just physically not capable of coherent sentences, that's enough for him to not run.
Did I ever show you that video? We can probably end on this.
Yeah, sure.
That video of Reagan after he got shot and he's giving a speech like.
It wasn't he like you missed me, fucker. Or
No. For anyone that hasn't seen it, I'll pull it up. Reagan had a lot of things I don't like, but this was a pretty badass moment. So he had just gotten shot. I've spelled that wrong, but.
Oh my gosh, so embarrassing.
But.
Oh yeah, you missed me.
I've always loved this video, even though I don't agree with him on a lot of things.
By its very existence and character, Berlin remains the most compelling argument for an open world. We're reminded of the many traditions of openness and democracy that have marked the history of this city. America missed me.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's pretty fucking badass.
Oh my God.
And you could tell like that, like kind of like throat clearing. He was like actually rattled, but like really kept it together.
Yeah. Jesus.
Tom says to go from Bobby Kennedy to Hubert Humphrey. Tom, why would that be? I don't. This is like I've never even considered this reality. So like, I'm kind of in the dark about it. But
what do you mean?
That his
why would that be?
Well, I think that.
Oh no. He's saying that he was devastated when Bobby Kennedy got shot, and he had to vote for Hubert. Right? Is that right?
I don't think Tom's that old.
He literally just said it. He was a senior.
Junior in college.
Yeah.
Jeez, Tom. Well, you're a very spry 70-something.
That handed the election to Nixon. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Imagine, dude.
Gio says Biden confuses his wife and his sister last night. That was so fucking funny. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Jacob Larson says Biden has 566 delegates right now and Bernie has 501. 284 still have to be given. Yeah, so that's going to be... That's like why there's like such a doomer thing going on and I can't really figure out why.
You can still win this.
Yeah, just keep writing it out. But, yeah. But, yeah.
Anyways, I hope an assassin of mine, misses a shot on me.
Yeah?
Yeah. It'd be really cool to say I survived an assassin attack.
Yeah, it would be, and Reagan's interesting because he didn't get shot directly. It ricocheted and then hit him. I mean, he was in like bad shape, but but the one who got the brunt of it was Brady, I think it's his press secretary. But like the Brady bill, have you heard that? Like It's about gun control. He rededicated his life to that because he was forever paralyzed after the event, and like I think he can't. It really fucked him up, like because it just hit him like right in the right spot of like his spine, and just really fucked him up. I think he actually got shot in the head.
Jesus,
it was something bad. But yeah, that's an interesting place to end it.
Yep, here's to hoping.
Yeah, well, we love you all. And
thanks for sitting in on this one.
We're planning to do like a little bit of a like a channel rebrand for when I think that my goal is for when we know who the nominee is for sure, and then it's going to be like them and Trump debating, which is going to be It's going to be so much fun.
Oh,
it's going to be so good for us.
We haven't seen Trump on a proper stage with other candidates.
It's going to be
years.
So much fun. It's going to be the best fucking TV ever. So
can't wait.
So we'll do like a channel rebrand. I'm going to probably the theme song. I'm going to redo it, but I always keep the same melody. The melody is always going to stay the same. That's like our melody, but I'm going to make it sound a little different.
Sweet.
Sean's designing some new logos. But yeah, so we're really happy to see all the new faces. Thank you guys for joining. I think you're probably subscribed, but hit the bells and the buttons and all that.
Yeah, we're
good
here
stuff.
every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Yep. All right. Love you all.
Love you. See ya.
Good. Bye.
Bye.
This is all wrong. I should be back in school. How dare you! You have stolen my dreams. How dare you!